I will see you all on the other side. All right, folks, welcome to The Week in Geek. This is our weekly geekly news show that we do here at Checkpoint Church, live every single Thursday on twitch.tv/checkpointchurch. If you're in the chat right now, this is a live interactive show, so be sure to say hi, YouTube, to everybody watching this on YouTube as it has been edited and put out there. If you're listening on our podcast version, then, you can't see everybody saying, hey, YouTube, but just assume that there are hundreds of millions, billions of people right now saying hello to YouTube because they're so happy that the YouTubers are here, and that's a good reminder to go watch this on YouTube if you want to catch it after the fact, but you could also listen to our podcast feed. We appreciate that as well. We got a lot to get through today. A lot of big news has happened. I did miss 2 weeks. We're not going to be going over the week 24 that we would have been talking about. We're just going to skip to whatever happened in the past week here, with the exception being sort of one that was somewhat relevant, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. We always start the show the same way. What have you watched? What have you read? What have you played in the past week? What have you watched? What have you read? What have you played in the past week? If you're in the chat live right now, let me know what those might be. If you're watching this on YouTube later, drop it down in the comments down below. I would love to hear what's going on in your life, what kind of media you are consuming. As for me, I just finished up the second season of Tokyo Revengers, which is one of my favorite anime of all time. I'm not quite done with the manga, but I'm definitely working my way through it. And I enjoy the heck out of this show. I highly recommend it to anybody. I think it's so good, especially if you like our nerdy sermons, because this upcoming nerdy sermon is definitely going to be about Tokyo Revengers Season 2. I have been reading A Psalm for the Wild Built, which is actually a book that we're reading together here at Checkpoint. If you want to join our book club over on Fable, I encourage you to do so. I'm enjoying it. I'm almost done with it. I have had so many moments from this book that have been like, wow, that's so deep. So I'm loving it. Highly recommend it. If you want to join us, it's not too late. You can certainly catch up. You just got to read at quite the pace. But we'll continue doing that with more books and more recommendations as we go forward. So feel free to join our book club to talk about things like that. And as far as what I'm playing, I am working my way through Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice pretty consistently. I'm just really enjoying that one and having fun with the story. It is a bit ridiculous, but what Ace Attorney game is not. So again, let me know what you're playing down in the chat section. I see Zando's playing SF6, trying to like Tears of the Kingdom. I just cannot imagine not obsessing over that game. It was a game that I couldn't not love it. It was the perfect game for me. Cam says Secret Invasion started last night. Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to watch Secret Invasion to see if I can plunder it for a nerdy sermon, but it's definitely not my bread and butter. Time will tell how it pans out. And Icarus says, lately I have been playing Diablo 4. Last anime I watched a week ago was Blue Lock. Blue Lock's so good! I love Blue Lock. I enjoyed that one. We have a nerdy sermon on that one as well, so feel free to check that one out on our YouTube channel somewhere. Now we're going to get into some of the news for the week, some of the headlines and things that are going on. Again, feel free to engage in the chat if you're here, if any of these spark your interest, or if you want to say any more about them. We're actually going to be starting with Twitch. So if you haven't heard yet, Twitch has unveiled its newest Partner Plus program, which aims to enable streamers to earn a larger share of their subscription revenue on the platform. The program provides streamers with a 70% share of net subscription revenue from recurring monthly subscriptions and gift subs for 12 months up to $100K, provided that they meet certain qualifications. To qualify, streamers who are already partnered with Twitch must maintain a minimum of 350 recurring paid subs for 3 consecutive months. Upon reaching this target, they will automatically be enrolled in the Partner Plus program for the next year. And the announcement comes in the wake of Twitch's controversial new guidelines regarding branded streams. You can find out that on one of our previous episodes of TWIG here, which led to some creators migrating to other platforms, which has kind of been happening for quite a while. This Partner Plus program is going to be launching on October 1st of this year. Folks, I am a Twitch streamer by trade, by the fact that Checkpoint is here. I do not consider myself a Twitch streamer as a human being. That is not my job. That is not my career. It is just the place that we evangelize here as Checkpoint Church. It's where we put out a lot of our live content creation. I am interested in seeing how this goes, how it continues to progress. I'm excited that Twitch is at least making some steps forward in this degree. I will not lie. I think that Twitch has been in some hot water recently, but I've been impressed. I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one that's impressed. I feel like everybody just likes to be mad at Twitch, but I think they've done some pretty considerable steps forward. They've adjusted a ton of things. They've added a ton of features. They've taken real steps towards becoming a more respectable company. So I don't know. I feel like there is so much shade thrown at Twitch all the time, and even shade over this thing. I just don't see it that way. I think that they have problems, that they have errors, they have stuff going on. But all in all, I feel like the vast majority of movements that Twitch has made, at least this year, have been movements towards an environment that is doing more good, that is doing less harm. An example of this that's not mentioned in this article is they just added content classification. So now we are able to say and disclose our family-friendly status, or change it for a different content classification if we play another game. So whenever we start playing True Colors, which will be next Thursday, I can now put in there, hey, this stream in particular is one that you should be 18 or older to watch. I don't think it requires it, but it definitely is a warning. It's a thing that sets up front that lets people know. I love that. I'm so here for that. I think that that is a good move forward. So I don't know. I think that as somebody that is not married to Twitch, but instead uses it as a resource for evangelism, I like Twitch. We're going to remain here. We're happy here. And I think this is a good move going forward. Next up. Major gaming subreddits have gone dark in protest of Reddit's API price changes. So this has a little bit to do with what I was talking about earlier. This is kind of old news at this point, but is still very much relevant. Key gaming subreddits, including Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Star Wars, and Cyberpunk 2077, have gone dark in response to Reddit's increased API pricing, which impacts third-party apps. Some of these subreddits have turned private, limiting access to invited members, while others are completely closed. The protest allows the announcement of Apollo, a popular Reddit browsing app that, due to the increased API cost, it would now need more than $20 million a year to operate, and will therefore shut down by June 30th, 2023. Reddit CEO Steve Huffman, when questioned about the issue on June 9th, did not indicate any plans to alter the new policy. So long story short, this is a whole lot of mess that's happening over on Reddit. Reddit, of course, being one of the biggest browsing platforms out there, in which you're able to find news and sources and all sorts of things from across the gamut of the internet, pretty much entirely UGC, user-generated content, which is always interesting to see how it goes. I think we wouldn't have a lot of our YouTubers that have popped off if we didn't have Reddit. I know Markiplier in particular is one who credits Reddit with being kind of the start of his success, as well as, who else is there? Jacksepticeye, who wouldn't have gotten here without Markiplier. So there's a lot of those gaming YouTubers that would have never gotten their start without Reddit. Reddit made a decision earlier in the year, I think it was earlier this year, it may have been late last year. The front page of the internet, one could say. One might say that. Most of people, let me start over. Most of the people that are using Reddit are probably using a third-party source, such as Apollo, which was mentioned here, which is a Reddit browsing app that does it better than the Reddit app. However, this is free, right? I mean, this is a matter of using the API of a company that exists, and so now Reddit is trying to make money off of their own API. So this is probably the biggest part of it, is Reddit wants to make money, and Reddit wants to make money by charging for their API. To me, this seems to be a matter by which Reddit is trying to push out every other third party. I don't think they're trying to be fair to APIs. I think they are trying to go overboard in a means to force them out to make money on their own endeavors. Whether you agree with that or not is probably more subjective and nuanced, and is about your take on capitalism in general. I think that it seems to be an obvious example, to me at least, of doing some pretty clear money moves. And so those can be harmful. They can also be good. It's a lot to say. I think the biggest harm being caused here is going to be the loss of jobs, is going to be the loss of people who have had an endeavor and a way of supporting their families and their livelihoods that are no longer going to be getting that. However, on the same token, this is probably going to allow for Reddit to do a better job paying their own employees and working on their own platform. So it's not a neutral situation. It's something that's certainly hotbedded. The interesting factor for me is seeing the different subreddits support for those that are being impacted by the API price hike. And I think we'll just have to see how this continues to pan out. Twitter got in some similar beef over their API shifts earlier in the year. This is an interesting year of API shifts that are happening as far as social media apps are concerned. And I think the question is, what are social media apps worth? and what should they be worth, and what should people be paying. I am a supporter of a fair price. These prices do not seem fair, so it's just a weird situation to be caught in the middle of. I don't use Reddit, really. I've never been much of a Redditor. I use Reddit like every now and again back in like college, but now, honestly, Checkpoint is kind of my Reddit, so I keep up with everything through you guys. So I don't know. It's not really necessary for me to see this platform, but we'll just see how it continues to pan forward. Wade says, I saw the blackout on Reddit. The subreddits were striking, going silent to protest. Yes, there's been a lot of that. It's been very interesting to see the people that have been super reactionary in support in protest against Reddit. We'll see how it continues to pan out. Like I said, I think that this is a weird one. This is a sticky one. And this is one that I think we'll see how it continues to work going forward. With that, we're going to move on to our next news story. Netflix's TUDUM 2023. These are all of the announcements that happened. They had their big festival in which they announce all of the exciting things coming up in a live stream. A third movie for the Extraction franchise, returning cast members for Squid Game, a first look at Squid Game The Challenge, which is going to be a reality show, which sounds a little bit like what Mr. Beast did. Penn Badgley teased the 5th and final season of You, a Spanish teen drama called Elite. Bridgerton, it got its first images for the 3rd season. Emily in Paris 4th season will take place in Rome, was announced. A new movie called Lift with Kevin Hart. New series from the world of Money Heist titled Berlin. Season 5 of Love is Blind will debut this September. A reunion of the members of Cobra Kai. Sneak peek at Outer Banks 4th season. First images of Netflix's live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender, with the show set to release in 2024. Terminator icon Linda Hamilton was announced to be joining the cast of the 5th and final season of Stranger Things. Concluded with Gal Gadot, I can't remember how you say her name, upcoming action movie Heart of Stone, debuting on August 11th. They also showed the One Piece trailer, which everybody is either happy or not happy about. So time will tell how that continues to go. What season 4 was not great, Mayfly? I'm not sure which one you're referring to. We went over a lot of shows there, so let me know if you like any of those shows and if you're interested in any of those things going on. I am quite excited for Linda Hamilton to be in Stranger Things. I'm excited for anything live action. Even if they're bad, I still enjoy watching them, so Avatar does not make me nervous at all. I think it'll be just fine. One Piece does not make me nervous at all. I think it'll be just fine. Oh, got you. I have not watched You before, and I'm very excited for Squid Game. So there's a lot of things that are coming out that I'm excited for. I happen to be a Netflix stan, but I understand that some people certainly are not. So let me know what you're excited about, or just say that you're not excited at all for Netflix, because who cares about Netflix right now? I do, but I get that stance. Let's move on to our next show segment, which is about Kick. Kick just stole XQC and Amouranth, Twitch's top male and female streamers, within 48 hours. In the space of 48 hours, the new streaming platform Kick has secured 2 top Twitch streamers, XQC and Amouranth. Kick reportedly signed XQC, previously the biggest streamer on Twitch, with a supposedly $100 million 2-year non-exclusive contract. Less than 2 days later, Amouranth, the most watched female streamer on Twitch, also announced her move to Kick. The terms of her deal are not yet public. The poaching of these Twitch streamers follows the introduction of Twitch's new policy preventing cross-streaming between platforms, even if it's not monetized. This move is speculated to be a reaction to Kick's offers. Kick is attracting more creators with its 95/5 revenue split offer, which is significantly better than Twitch's standard 50/50 split, or its best case 70/30 split. This generous revenue share has led many streamers to at least consider trying out the new platform. However, skepticism surrounds Kick and its sustainability. The platform is owned by Ed Craven, co-founder of the crypto gambling site Stake.com, and there are theories suggesting this may be a strategy to drive viewers towards gambling, using these lucrative contracts as effective marketing tools. Despite this, in the short term, the real issue seems to be the PR disaster it's causing for Twitch. It remains unclear how many more big and small streamers Twitch can lose before it needs to make significant changes to retain its users. Twitch's current strategy appears to be wait and see if Kick will eventually collapse. That's on behalf of Forbes. If you want to read the full article, I'll drop it in our show notes. But I will say, as far as what Forbes said at it, I think it feels a little bit subjective in what they are presenting this whole thing as. I am personally not a fan of Kick. I think that it's problematic and probably going to crash. I support other streamers who choose to make the right calls for them. But as far as for Checkpoint, as far as for should you, if you are a Twitch streamer, I think that this is an objective form of harm. I think you could probably make the same arguments about Amazon, who owns Twitch, doing harm. So it's not really fair to pick one or the other. I think all of these companies are probably going to be corrupt somewhere down the line. There's going to be problematic things they do along the line. So it comes down to a justice decision for you and what you choose to use the platform for. As far as this whole signing situation, I think that this contract is absurd. I cannot believe that XQC is being paid $100 million for 2 years. That is the biggest contract, I think, of all time, and is definitely a humongous deal for Twitch. It is bigger than anything we've ever seen before. Amouranth, on the other hand, has not disclosed how much her contract was for. I think it could be fair to assume that it's somewhere close, if not more, depending on what Kick really wants to illustrate itself as. Which I don't think they're too against vices. So I have a feeling they're just fine promoting Amouranth in whatever way, shape, or form they would like to. It's been an interesting thing. We've continued to see fallout from this. I think that as far as Kick's connection to gambling, that's its most problematic factor that I'm uncomfortable with. As a United Methodist, we are vehemently against gambling. It is in our social order that we do not condone gambling for anyone, not just the fact that Kick is definitely advertised towards children and encouraging children to gamble. So that in and of itself makes me uncomfortable, but in general, I'm against gambling as a stance as best as I can. I think that Kick is probably gonna crash. We'll find out. I don't know. I think that the reality of Kick is that it has more money than anyone, but that didn't make Microsoft work either. So Mixer crashed, and Microsoft has more money than anyone as well. So the question is, where is the money going? How are they going to keep it going, and how are they going to support it? As far as will Kick crash, for me, I think that what will cause it to crash will be the people in charge. Trainwreck and people like that it's a train wreck. So we will see how things continue to go forward and what they continue to do. As far as streaming exclusively on one platform over the other, I don't think either XQC or Amouranth have confirmed whether or not they'll be streaming exclusively on Kick. This is not an exclusive deal, and so there's no reason for them to necessarily do that. Kick is hard for me to use it a lot. It has such a shady reputation. There's too much adult streams. Yeah, I haven't really invested. I haven't invested my time or my energy into that space, so I haven't watched anything on Kick. I know that several of my peers, as far as the Christian streamers here on Twitch are concerned, are going that way, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm not impressed, and I mean, XQC is fine. I know we have some members of the community that definitely like XQC and watch his content a lot. I think he's a bit of a goof, but that's kind of the point, right? I mean, it's a goofy person that attracts eyeballs and plays video games. So it is what it is. The situation is what it is, and it's a decision that he decided to make whenever he saw the dollar bills. And I can't judge that and can't blame that. I can just discourage it as far as a means of doing good, doing no harm, and striving to grow. I think the right thing to do is probably to either try to change Kick from the inside out, or to invest in active measures of preventing folks from gambling addiction or that kind of thing. That would be the best way to avoid harm in this situation. And Icarus says, I never heard of Kick, if I'm being honest. It's definitely an up-and-comer. It's definitely nowhere near as big as YouTube and Twitch, so it's not a matter of like it's becoming a prevalent force of nature, but it is definitely buying up some pretty big and impressive contracts. But it's done that. I mean, we've seen that before. We've seen Mixer do it with Ninja. We've seen all sorts of people do it. So I'm just not impressed. I think we'll see how it continues to pan out, but I think that the biggest deal about this is definitely the size of that contract. $100 million is insane. So time will tell how we continue to see things going. There's even more that we could say about that, but I don't want to waste too much time on just this one particular topic. If you want to talk more about this, I'm happy to engage in whatever way over on our Discord. Next up, YouTube is expanding their partner program. YouTube is broadening its YouTube partner program by lowering eligibility criteria to help more creators monetize their content. Now creators can apply to YPP, the YouTube partner program, once they've reached 500 subscribers, uploaded 3 public videos in the past 90 days, and achieved either 3,000 watch hours in the past year or 3 million shorts views in the last 90 days. With this, creators will gain access to fan funding features and the ability to promote their products via YouTube Shopping. The company is also extending its YouTube Shopping affiliate program to all US-based YPP creators with over 20,000 subscribers. This program allows creators to feature and tag products from partner brands in their videos, earning a commission on any resultant sales. The new YPP features will initially be available in the US, UK, Canada, Taiwan, and South Korea, with plans to expand to all countries where YPP is available. This expansion aims to support creators at all stages of their YouTube journey and increase monetization opportunities. Now, this is just a big deal because I always like YouTube and I like their updates that they're making. This is also a big deal because it's lowering the bar of entry. Some of you will remember, if you were around during YouTube's heyday, that it used to be just kind of everybody got the opportunity to be a partner on YouTube, and then eventually they decided that that was not the most cost-effective way for them to do it, and so they limited it pretty hard. I was actually a part of that line that got ousted because I did not have a big enough audience at the time where they lost the partner program, and then I've been working my way ever up towards it, and now they've lowered the bar a little bit, so maybe we'll be able to get in. If you want to support Checkpoint and getting into that partner program, then you can go watch our videos. Go watch all the stuff on Checkpoint Church over on our YouTube channel. We would so appreciate that. If you haven't taken the time to watch through our full suite of nerdy sermons, that would be a cool thing for you to do. I guess we don't. Oh, there we go. If you want to do that, that would be super cool of you. Or go watch our podcast because those are nice and long, and so you would be able to build up those hours quickly. But imagine if everybody in this chat, how many people we have? We have 11 right now. If all of you watched all of our podcasts, that's easily 15 hours. So there you go. We've got tons of time. We've got about 150 hours sitting right here. Think about how close that would get us to 1,000 hours. So just saying, if you want to do that, if you want to support us in that way, that is a measure by which you can do it. You can also subscribe, get us closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark, and getting us closer to the real YouTube Partner Program. It is noted, and it should be noted, that the YPP that they have expanded is not for full partner privileges. They will not be getting access to true AdSense. It will basically be making you a Twitch affiliate. So they are now lowering their standards to a Twitch affiliate status. However, it is significantly harder to get to than Twitch affiliate is. All right, next up. Final headline of the day, the Nintendo Direct happened yesterday. We watched it live together over on our Discord. If you've not joined our Discord, please take some time to do it. It's an awesome place where we watch things together. We get lunch together. We're hanging out. It's 24/7 active. We got questions every single day of the work week. Tons of stuff going on. Join our Discord if you haven't before. We're going to go through real quickly all the things announced at the Nintendo Direct. Recap. First off, they started the show with a DLC announcement for us. It's not unfortunately announcing a date. I was really hoping for a date, but we still just get fall 2023, winter 2023. They showed another peek at Sonic Superstars coming out this fall 2023. Palia is coming out holiday 2023. Persona 5 Tactica releasing on 17 November 2023. Myth Force 2023. Splatoon 3's latest Splatfest based around ice cream is going to be coming in the middle of July. Detective Pikachu returns. I'm so excited about that. On the 6th of October. I loved the first Detective Pikachu. It was a funny game. It was a ridiculous game. The movie obviously was a big deal. Maybe this means a new movie's coming along. That would be exciting too. Super Mario RPG, probably the biggest announcement of the stream for me. Super Mario RPG is being remastered and being released on the 17th of November 2023. New Nintendo Switch Peach game. We don't know much about that one. We just know that Peach is going to be the main character of the game, coming out next year. Luigi's Mansion 2 Dark Moon is being remastered and released next year. The full trilogy of the Arkham games from Batman are going to be released this fall. Gloomhaven is being brought over to the Switch on the 18th of September. We'll see how that goes. Just Dance 2024 edition is being released this October. Silent Hope is being released in October 2023 on the 3rd. Fae Farm is being released on the 8th of September of this year. Hot Wheel Unleashed 2 Turbocharged the 19th of October. Manic Mechanics is coming out on the 13th of July. Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope, the last DLC, The Last Spark Hunter, is coming out yesterday. Dragon Quest Monsters The Dark Prince is coming out this holiday season, 1st of December. Pikmin 4, we got another look at it, 21st July. Pikmin 1 and 2, this was a huge exciting announcement, have both been brought to the Switch as of yesterday. We played Pikmin 1 during lunch yesterday, and man, I just love that game. Metal Gear Solid Masters Collection Volume 1 is coming out on the 24th of October. Vampire Survivors is finally coming to the Switch on the 17th of August. Headbangers Rhythm Royale is hitting the Switch October 31st. Penny's Big Breakaway is coming early 2024. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass Wave 5 is coming out this summer. Star Ocean, the Second Story R, is being remastered and brought over to the Switch 2nd November 2023. A new WarioWare game, Move It, is coming out on the 3rd of November. The Nintendo Live got a little bit of a teaser from the 1st to 4th of September in Seattle. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is getting 2 new amiibo this holiday season. And then the big closer that they were super excited about, a new 2D Super Mario is coming out, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, hitting the market this October the 20th. Pretty exciting stuff. Lots of big announcements in there. A 10 out of 10 Nintendo Direct from me. I can't really imagine how it could possibly be better. Everything about it was super exciting and huge, and I enjoyed every minute of it. If you ever want to join us, again, join our Discord to be a part of those live watch-alongs where we have a ton of fun engaging in those games together. I'm most excited probably for the new Mario, Detective Pikachu, Super Mario RPG, and Pikmin. So those are my biggest deals. I do not need more Vampire Survivors in my life. It takes over my life every time. And this time it's going to be co-op. So I don't know if it's local co-op or online co-op, but if it is online co-op, then hey, maybe for an upcoming Tuesday night stream, we'll see what that looks like. With that, we're going to move into our next segment of the show, which is To the Discord. We're going to go to submitted news. This is Discord that you all have submitted during the past week. If you want to submit news, you can join our Discord and post it there. I ask the question over in our Ask Questions, Get Answers every Wednesday, or you can drop us a link at bit.ly/DearTwig, and I'll be sure to review those and see if they'll make it into the show. With that, we're going to get into our first Discord submitted news. The first one is from Bwish about Rivian. Rivian Automotive has announced an agreement with Tesla that will allow Rivian drivers to access Tesla's supercharger network across the US and Canada. To facilitate this, Rivian will make an adapter available for its R1T and R1S vehicles to charge on the supercharger network starting in spring 2024. In addition, Rivian plans to incorporate North American Charging Standard, the NACS charge port, as a standard in its future R1 vehicles from 2025 and its upcoming R2 platform. This move is aimed at increasing the availability of charging locations for electric vehicles, or EVs, and accelerating EV adoption, contributing to decarbonization efforts in the transportation sector. We support saving the environment. We are creation care people, and we believe in that kind of work. So the better that EVs can be, the better I think the future holds for us. So I personally do not drive an EV, but I would like one, and it's really just a matter of affording one currently with the car that I already owned before they've sort of hit the market. But I'm excited to see that charging is going to become more accessible and is going to become more universal. I think a universal standard is the best thing we can hope for, and I'm appreciative of the efforts being taken by those in the EV market. With that, we're going to move into our next one. Smosh. This is by Perspective. Smosh co-founders Anthony Padilla and Ian Hecox have purchased back the YouTube comedy brand they started 18 years ago. Padilla left Smosh in 2017 while Ian remained, overseeing the business through the collapse of then-parent company Defy Media and Smosh's subsequent acquisition in 2019 by Mythical Entertainment, owned by YouTube stars Rhett and Link. After rekindling their friendship, Padilla and Ian decided to acquire a majority ownership stake in Smosh from Mythical Entertainment. The terms of the buyout were not disclosed, but the acquisition was financed by Breeze Financial. They plan to return to writing, directing, and starring in comedy sketches on the main Smosh channel. The first collaboration in more than 6 years will be released on June 30th, and they plan to release a new comedy video every 2 weeks. Rhett and Link will remain involved with Smosh in an advisory capacity as minority shareholders. The Smosh on-screen talent team will remain, and the company will continue to operate from its Burbank studio. The co-founders also plan to launch subscription-based memberships on the main YouTube channel that will offer exclusive bonus content, live stream watch parties, and other perks. If you are a big fan of Smosh, then this is exciting news for you. I look forward to seeing how this continues to pan out. I think that I was not really in the Smosh scene. I was always more of a Game Grump scene for me. And I did enjoy Mythical. I mean, I always enjoyed Good Mythical Morning and the stuff that Red and Link put out there. So I don't know. I think it's been an exciting ride to see them kind of sustain and continue to develop new talent. I think of Shane Top as one of the ones that has been somebody that has been a big deal. And then Courtney, I can't remember Courtney's last name, but she's been another big deal that's come out of Smosh. And so I think we've had some pretty huge things going on there, and they've managed to maintain something I really enjoy. I spent a day with from Anthony Padilla, so I hope that he doesn't slow down on that endeavor at all. And I think this is all good. The more content we can have from independent creators, the better. And what I really like about this, the thing that I really want to highlight, is how cool it is that we saw 2 sets of real human beings make an acquisition. Like, I think with all this mess between Sony and Xbox, where we've just been so in the drama and the weeds of it all, it's really cool to see Rhett and Link shake hands with Ian and Anthony. So I don't know. We'll see how it continues to go forward, but I think that this is a good thing all around. With that, we're going to move into our next one, also from Bwish, Xbox VR. Microsoft's Xbox has no plans to venture into virtual or augmented reality gaming in the near future, according to Xbox Game Studio head Matt Booty. Despite the critical success of PlayStation's PSVR 2, which I think is a bit Tom's guide that's a bit superfluous. I think that may be a bit exaggerating, maybe. And the emerging interest in virtual and augmented reality gaming, he suggests that the VR and AR scale isn't there yet for Xbox or Microsoft to create dedicated games or hardware for these platforms. I think all around, that's a good idea. Probably slow it down, take it easy. I don't see the VR, AR market actually popping off. I think that it's pretty humble. I think that it's pretty low key. So I don't think they should jump into their both feet first, especially with how Microsoft kind of does things with Game Pass and that kind of thing. I don't think we need it. If anything, I think they should partner with somebody and create Game Pass on Meta or something. That would be a big deal. So with that, we're going to move into the last to the Discord news. Buish submitted a review on the Pixel tablet by CNET. The Google Pixel tablet is a strong return to Android tablets for Google, offering a fast performance, a good front video camera, and a unique dock that doubles as a home hub. Priced at $500 for the base model, which I think is a bit much. Features 128 gigabytes of storage. Users who need more storage can upgrade to the 256 gigabyte for an additional $100. That is $600. What's neat about this one is that it's fast as lightning, supposedly using their G2 chip, and that there's a nicer camera, and that it's got that cool charging stand. But I'm not going to lie, as much as I really want a new tablet, and I really enjoy the Pixel Suite, I have yet to see anything about this one that wows me, especially with the seeming lack of work features. So no real connection with like an S Pen, no real connection with like a tablet technology of their own, including a keyboard. The only thing they've done as far as accessories is expensive, and it's certainly not that luxury or connective. So I think this is probably a pass for me. I will look forward to the Pixel Tablet 2, and maybe they'll decide to do some more brave and adventurous things from that. Time will tell. I never got a Pixel Slate. I don't know how they were. I think I heard people rave about them, so maybe this is just their first step into the more family market of iPads, and then eventually they'll work into something a little bit better. But with that is all of our To The Discord news. If you want to submit news for next week's TWIG, be sure to go to bit.ly/DearTwig, DearTwig, and submit your link for us to review. With that, we're going to get into everybody's favorite segment of the show.
At this point in nerd history!
That's right, it is all the things that have happened on this day throughout history. So what happened on June 22nd throughout time and space in the world of games and movies? As far as video games, back in 2018, Mario Tennis Aces released. Guitar Hero on Tour, the one for the DS that had the little plug-in for the DS, hit the market in 2008. A year prior, Mario Party 8, arguably one of the best Mario Parties, released in 2007. 2004, my favorite Mario Golf game, Mario Golf Advance Tour, hit the Game Boy Advance. In 2001, the Game Boy Advance itself released in Europe. And in 1996, iconic PC game Quake hit the scene. Switching over to movies for just a moment, in 2018, Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom was released. 2012, we had a doubleheader of Brave, the classic Pixar movie that nobody saw, and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, the goofy hit. 2007, Evan Almighty, the sequel to Bruce Almighty, the less than sequel in my opinion. I enjoyed Bruce Almighty a whole lot more than Evan Almighty, although I do love Steve Carell. And then 2001, The Fast and the Furious started. How crazy is that? And now we're on Fast 10. A wild ride for Fast and the Furious, pun fully intended. With that, this has been
At this point in nerd history!
All right. With that, I agree. Bruce Almighty is definitely way better. With that, we're going to move into upcoming releases for the week. The things that are going on this week in gaming. Most of them are happening today or tomorrow, with a couple happening a little bit later on. So we're going to go through those real quick. We're going to start with movies. All the movies are airing today. Only found two that were really worth talking about. Asteroid City, the latest Wes Anderson film, with, of course, a stacked cast, as only Wes Anderson films can do. And then also today is going to be Wonderwell. I think that movie is going to be just okay. But what's neat about it is that it's Carrie Fisher's final film, and we want to honor Princess Leia. Moving into games. Coming out today is a bunch of these games. So look for all these games hitting the market right now. Dr. Fetus's Mean Meat Machine from Meat Boy fame doing the same thing Sonic did. Feed All Monsters, Final Fantasy 16 does indeed drop today. Forever Skies, Mars First Logistics, Nimbus Infinity, the latest Nimbus game, Nova Lands, an indie game, Grim Lord, another indie game, The Bookwalker, Thief of Tales, another indie game, and Salty Hounds. All those games are dropping today. Dropping on the 27th, so a little bit later in the week, is going to be Bombing 2, a graffiti paradise, a game that I'm incredibly excited for, a Danganronpa-like called Charade Maniacs, and Little Friends, Puppy Island is dropping next 27th, and Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. Folks, Story of Seasons is the new iteration of Harvest Moon, and Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life is probably one of my favorite games of all time. I'm so excited for this. I've had it pre-ordered since the day that pre-orders launched. I cannot wait to see this and to play this game and to experience this world all over again. If you want to make me happy, buy this game because it is one of my favorites of all time, and I would love to have other people playing it and talking about it. So there we go. That is all the upcoming releases. If any of those piqued your interest, if you're curious about any of them and want to talk about them, feel free to drop in the chat or drop around on the Discord later and hang out with us and talk about some of the games that are going on in your world. With that, we're going to move into our final segment of the show, which is, of course, our Meme of the Week. So our Meme of the Week this week is a little bit self-indulgent. You can see it behind me as well. I was ordained in full connection this past week at annual conference. If you don't know what that means, it's basically just the final step of the journey. It's graduating, if you will, in the United Methodist Church. So now I have fully completed the process to become an ordained elder in full connection. We got pictures taken during this time, and they made us stare directly into the sun. And so as I was staring directly into the sun, somebody took our picture and posted it in the journal. The journal is something that goes forever in perpetuity here on the United Methodist Church. It will go in our library for the rest of time. And this was the picture they chose. It's got my eyes closed. My eyes are just closed because I was looking directly into the sun. And so the wonderful people of our Discord took that image, zoomed it in as close as they could to my face, and we now have our own version of the LOLW meme. So if you want to use LOLW, I'm going to plan on adding it to Twitch eventually, and I'm definitely going to, it's already added to Discord, so if you want to use LOLW right now, you can join our Discord and see that and use that right there. So that has been the Week in Geek, folks. We thank you so much for watching this. If you want to, here in the chat, say bye, YouTube, because we're going to close out the show here. We appreciate you watching this far into the video. If you like this kind of content, if you watch this far, you probably do, be sure to click that thumbs up. Let us know that this is the kind of content that you enjoy TWIG. You want to see more TWIG. You want to continue to talk about weekly geekly news. Let us know by doing that for us. With that, we're going to end this one with our 3 things that we believe to be true about every single one of you out there. Number 1, that God loves you, like really, really loves you. Number 2, we love you. We want community with you. That's what we're doing here on Twitch, where this originally aired, on YouTube, where it's being released now, and over on our Discord, where all of our best community stuff happens. And number 3, believe that you, yes, you matter. You are a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Folks, with that, until the next time that I see you, whether it be on Twitch during any of our streams, on Discord 24/7, or same time, same place for another Twig next week, I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye!